today we are going to learn about matter again. Well, matter is a solid thing. There's three states of matter: solid, liquid, or gas. Well, each of these things, matter have particles. Now, matter is made out of particles. They are so tiny and they just cling together like our phone or something. It's just only clinking together and it fit together. But they are all made of small particles sticking together. So they are made of very small particles and solid. Well, solid. It keeps its shape. Particles are held tightly together. Particles can be juggled or vibrate. Now, if I have this rock here, I can know this is the matter and there's mass on it. Even if I put it into a cup, it wouldn't change its shape. Now, this rock is a solid, so it has many matters crammed into one rock, making it like a hard shape. And it's just sticking together, making it hard and a solid object. So like these circles are like particles, example of particles of the rocks. So that's what the rock is made out of. So, and the circle can be vibrate hard too, even though they are stick together, they can vibrate, even though they are a solid thing. If you just clunk it, could vibrate and shake. Now, liquid takes the shape of a container. Particles can be held in a container, and the particles can flow past each other. Well, like I have some water in this jar, and I have a tube here. Well, we can see the water here that is a bit round and also just a little bit on the bottom of the jar. It's round and like a triangle. But if I pour it into the tube, would you think it changes form or just be like that? Now let's try it. Now you can see the water. The water has changed its form. It's much more skinny and taller too, and is depending on the shape of the tube. So if there aren't any water inside, the water would just go out every direction because it didn't have its container. Now, what if we had this tube and then we would put it into this small tube? Well, the water wouldn't fit inside because this tube is too small, but the water is still there and it still not have less water or more water. So if we pour in, most water will be left in the tube, in the large tube, and just only a little water is left in the small tube. So the water is still there and it's just the same, and now water have left it. So particles are held loosely together. The water particles, you can see they are loosely and can flow through each other, making them change its shape by the container it's in. So that's how the particles of water work. Now, how about gases? Well, the water, it can be loose and also change in its tube or its container. But gas has no shape. What is that? Well, gas is just like water. It depends on the object that is holding it. Particles are not held together. Particles can bounce off one another and move freely. Well, so that all the small particles, usually solid and liquid, are close together, but then all these particles are floating all around each place. Like this is here and this is there. And each place is different. Instead of just one place crammed to each other. Now, if I have this balloon and blow it, well, you can see it has flown to a side because this balloon have had air inside it. Now, even if bigger, it still has just the air just going into the balloon. So the balloon is the container, and the air inside is cramped inside it, but it's still floating freely inside the balloon. So the gases and the particles, that made the gases are still flowing freely inside this balloon. Imagine you think if there are tiny people living in a balloon, well, or ants, well, they would just run freely, and if just each other, they would just ignore them and then go away in different directions. And just like the particles, they bounce off each other inside the balloon and move freely too. Now, so that means gas have no shape. That means it takes the shape of the object having it. So that's what the gas is. Now the shape. Now matter can change phase. Well, we have this kind of matter. Well, we have liquid. It's from solid, ice cube. Solid ice cube. Now this ice cube is solid, and then we put it into a cup, wait for a few minutes, and then it will start melting. Then the ice cube will turn into liquid, and liquid is still in the jar. We put it longer, it will start to evaporate, and when it evaporates, it's turning into gas. So that's how the matter can change. So liquid is one of the examples. I can change into solid or change into gas and fly up the air. So that's how matter can change phases. So even the metal can melt, and then it will melt, then it will freeze solid, and then it will melt into liquid. If it's hot enough, maybe it could smoke into gas too. So matter can change. So today we learn about the three states of matter. So solid, liquid, and gas. Goodbye.